Hey everyone, Keeper here. And I gotta ask, who's excited for this new Theros meta? I know I am. I've been enjoying playing some games. The new Theros cards have been a lot of fun, and I have run into less and less cat oven decks. Although I still do see some, just not as often. Uh, and it has been great so far. I haven't looked into any of some popular deck lists. I probably can find some if I try real hard to see what's going on out there. But instead, I've decided to just have some fun while I have the time before things start to get settled. It hasn't been a week since the release, so I feel like we're doing pretty good here. That being said, I do have an interesting deck to to play today. Thing is, I've mentioned this in the past. Most decks, even bad decks, can occasionally win with a good draw. And the thing is, the important factor is how often that good draw comes about with specific decks. If your deck requires uh, two specific cards of which you only have one copy each in your deck, and it requires them to be in your opening hands, it strongly decreases the likelihood of you succeeding with that deck as opposed to a better constructed deck. What I'm trying to get at with this is this deck that I currently have here does do some awesome, fun, broken stuff, but it kind of is very much hand dependent. So I have won quite a few games with this deck actually, playing yesterday just for fun, trying it out. But I'm still not entirely sure that means that it's a great deck. I feel like it suffers from the fact that it's easily answered. Some sweepers will take care of this deck most of the time. It actually does pretty good against the average aggro deck because it's got a bunch of life gain. Uh, but what this deck ends up being is a hybrid almost of mono white devotion with Constellation. And I say this because it is playing Starfield Mystic, which does benefit because it lowers the costs of Banishing Light, it lowers the costs of Conclave Tribunal, which isn't necessarily critical, but it helps. It helps you achieve things a lot sooner. It helps with mana efficiency. It lowers the cost of Omen of the Sun. It even lowers the cost of Heliod Sun Crowned. So it does have its advantages to playing Starfield Mystic. Even the fact that if for some reason creatures die, the creature enchantments die, Daxos and that if they die, it gets +1/+1 counters on it. So there's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of good synergies between Starfield Mystic and the bulk of the deck. But it also plays Archon of Sun's Grace, which has a constellation effect. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. Now it also has lifelink. The token itself doesn't have lifelink, but if the Archon is still in play, the Pegasus, the Pegasus, the Pegasi, they have lifelink as well. And the fact that it's a 3/4 for 4 with flying and lifelink is a pretty good card on its own. And then it plays another great synergy aspect, which is the all that glitters. All that glitters. A lot of these cards are enchantments. Banishing Light. It has Staggering Insight. I am splashing blue for Staggering Insight. Not for the Arcanist Owl because the Arcanist Owl is mono white when needed, but for Staggering Insight just because I feel like it's actually a rather good card. Uh, but it does have a bunch of enchantments that all that glitters counts, so it can make a really big creature really quick. And then the devotion aspect of it, because it has a bunch of enchantments on the battlefield, it's not actually geared to getting as much devotion as possible as fast as possible. It just does that by default because it plays a bunch of enchantments that stick around on the battlefield when needed. It plays things like the Arcanist Owl that has 4 white mana pips, so that automatically turns on. That and Heliod means it's automatically turned on because that's 5. It has Daxos, that's 2 white mana pips. Things like that mean that oftentimes Heliod is on really quick. The fact is, I only have 2 Heliods. I haven't opened any more, so we're only playing 2 Heliods because I'm still not. I feel like it's a safe bet to craft them, but I don't really have the mythic wild cards to throw around like that. So I'm just gonna wait for this weekend before I start crafting things seriously. And I still feel like Heliod, like I would put the 2 more if I had them, but even just having 2 is already really good for this deck. So that being said, it does play 2 Castle Ardenvale. It's just free. There's no justification not to play it. Like, it's free. It doesn't have any impact on your mana, really. More than 2 might, because there are going to be draws where you want to go turn 1 Alseid of Life's Bounty, and you can't because you drew 2 Castle Ardenvales. So more than 2, I'd probably leave it out, but the 2 is decent. The 3 islands, it's all right. I'm not entirely sure if I really need all of these white mana sources or these blue mana sources, but I do like to get Staggering Insight down as quick as possible when I draw it. So I'll leave it at that for now. Unlike what I usually do, where I actually do the mana base myself and ignore whatever MTG Arena is suggesting. This time I'm just leave it as is and trust that Arena is doing a good job. So that being said, I didn't set up a sideboard for this. No, of course not. But I didn't plan on setting up a sideboard for this anyway because I want to take this into best of 1 today. And that's exactly what we're going to do and see how it goes. I played some casual play yesterday with this deck, just thinking that it was an awful deck. And it might still be an awful deck, but I had a lot of fun and it did some interesting things, so we'll give it a try. Looks like I've got an eyelash or something in there. That's weird. Okay. So yeah, this looks like a pretty decent hand, to be honest. 1 into 2 into potentially 3, except that we're facing Simic Flash, so that's probably not going to happen the way I hope it'll happen. Let's kick it off. So we're facing Temples.deck. This is alright. This Elementals, I guess? Alright. Elementals is alright. Let's go Heliod, obviously. Life is life. Plus the life gain from the Alseid lets me pump up my creatures here. This could be Anissa, I suppose. I feel like that's still all right. I can. Oh, Omnath deals 2. Okay, sure. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's play this Archon of Sun's Grace. Let's put it on here. And let's swing. Next turn, I'm going to go Banishing Light. Create some Pegasi. Okay. I still think that that's game. Or close to it. 2 mana. 3 mana. That's respectable. Risen Reef Trigger. That's good. I'm going to make a bunch of creatures here. I am going to... Yeah. Banishing Lights, the Omnath here. Sure, I suppose. I'm going to play this untapped. Just to keep up protection. I think we're doing okay here. Archon of Sun's Grace is a pretty amazing card. I mean, obviously you need some setup. It needs, in this case, the VIP was obviously Heliod. The +1/+1 counters on it whenever you gain life is amazing, and is always going to do some work. Indestructible makes it really hard to deal with. There are some cool foils to Indestructible currently. Shadow something spear. I'm still not entirely familiar with all the names in this set, but the Shadow Spear looks to be really good in this meta with all the gods and being able to remove Indestructible and even Hexproof. Hexproof is usually relevant too. Overall, I think Theros is just great. Like, it's been some great gameplay with the Theros cards. Not to mention the flavor. It's pretty good. I've always been into the whole Greek mythology thing. Ooh, this looks odd. I probably shouldn't keep this hand, but okay. Well, there goes that. So, looks like we're facing Mill. Not entirely sure how I feel about that, but not much to be done. I'm guessing they have a Quench up, but I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, gotta run into it. They for sure have didn't say please up, but that's alright. I'm gonna end the turn and flash in Omen of the Sun. Oh, this isn't Bill. The heck is this then? Sure. Yeah, I'll take some damage, that's fine. I make the assumption that they have a counter spell, even though they didn't actually counter Omen of the Sun here. I don't really... I'll just pass the turn and cast another Omen of the Sun. I'd rather play the Arcanist Owl, but it's more than likely just going to get countered. Okay, that was weird. Do I want to just scry here? No. I'm going to cast it. I take it to mean that they have another quench. What's the cost on quench? 2 mana? Alright, well, Banishing Light then. Unsummon? Oh, run away together. Okay, sure. That's cool. So I suppose they can quench this, or didn't say please, or whatever other counter spells this deck plays. Or none. I will take a Staggering Insight. It does let them know what I've got, but not much to be done about that. Do I expect them? Yeah, they probably do. Brineborn Cutthroat, sure. Sailor, sure. That's the thing. They could have the counter spells up, or they could have just this nonsense. Either or generally works. Alright. I am going to have to go for it. Brazen Borrower. Protection from blue. Are you going to cast another Brazen Borrower? Sure, I suppose. And now, do they have another counter spell? Probably. Ah, there it is. All right. All right, so now we're in top deck mode. Oh, that's not good. Actually, I'll just pass the turn. No attacks. 3. What does this thing cost? 5 mana. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can't scry and Castle Ardenvale anyway, so. Not entirely sure we're going to succeed with this. In fact, I highly suspect we won't. So I think I'm just going to hold on to it and see if I can draw something else to cast before it. All right. Sure thing. So if they counter this, I can play Heliod. Yeah. The thing is, I'm at 4 though. With Essence Capture, that makes it a lot worse. I don't have enough devotion. Yeah, another target creature until I... it's not gonna do it. Yep, that's it. That's game. Yeah, mono blue is always going to be a rough matchup when you're just reliant on resolving your cards. It's actually a pretty good hand. Kind of depends on what we're facing again, but turn 1. Huh. Okay. Are we facing a mono white devotion deck here? Not really sure what plays Haunted Witness these days. There's so many better 1-drops. Fairy Guide Mother. Selesnya tokens. Alright, well. That is cool. That is cool. Maybe it's not Selesnya tokens. Maybe it's just normal mono white tokens, I guess. What could they have here? What are they holding up? Raise the alarm? I suppose. That's a thing, right? Yeah, huh. I'd forgotten that card was a thing. Cool. Alright. So let us play some Heliod. Actually, I'm just going to sit on these blockers so I can play this Arcanist Owl. And swing with Heliod next turn. Okay. That's aggressive. No doubt. Oh, in that case, actually, pump up the Sun's Grace. So, next turn, Arcanists. Yeah. I can appreciate that. Mono white aggro slash tokens, because that's a lot of tokens in that deck. It has been pretty popular, it seems. The key is that This Constellations deck does tend to play better in the long game. Archon of Sun's Grace is really good for that sort of thing. More of a mid-range. This is a mulligan. This doesn't do anything. I can keep this. I am going to go for the greedy play of churn to... Ooh, boy. That is probably way too greedy given the circumstances. But we're going to go for it. If they have an answer for this creature, then that's rough. Robber. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no blocks. Because I am going to swing with a bunch of lifelink. Alright. Play some Daxos next. Yeah, we're gonna get... Oh, that's the same one. Alright. All that glitters. Ouch. The Tick and all that glitters. That's rough. Is that... there goes the... Okay. Do I just have to trade off this this Robber of the Rich? Arcanist Owl. Alright. No, not trading off the Rich. I got something to play here. Oh, nice. That's a lot of damage. Oh, shit. Banishing Light, eh? Yeah, no blocks. Banishing Light is rough here. Okay, so I can Starfield Mystic. Pay 2 life. My own Banishing Light. And no attacks. Second Robber, jeez. Nothing beats my deck than playing with my own deck. Alright, okay. We still got this. We're at 7. Okay. We're at 8. What do they grab? So this, take 3. Banishing Light, that thing. We might have been able to claw back into this. The Pegasus have lifelink. Yeah, that's what I thought. That one felt good. That is how you win. That one felt fantastic. All right, yay! Throne of Eldraine. I really needed a Throne of Eldraine pack. Let's see what we got. Gems, of course we did. Okay. All right. All right. Beating up on Mono Red Cavalcade after almost losing. That is, if that's not a positive endorsement of this deck, Spinning Wheels and you? Okay. Okay. I mean, I suppose I thought I had 4 for sure. I didn't know they still highlighted a card like that, even if I already had all 4. But sure. As I was saying, beating up on Mono Red, if that's not a positive endorsement of this Constellations deck, that I don't know what is, realistically. Yeah, I don't know what is, I guess. No, I really just don't know. What am I going to do? It's a great deck to beat up on Mono Red, so you got to play it. I don't know if there's a lot of Mono Red running around in the meta anymore, but those are some good games. The Mono Blue is going to be rough because of the counter spells. If you can't, this deck needs to resolve its spells. It's fragile against counter spells, and it's kind of fragile depending on what you have going on against board wipes. Heliod is pretty good in that scenario because indestructible, but it does shut him off most of the time, unless it's like a planar cleanse. Unless it's like you gotta have a bunch of enchantments. I got ahead of my thought there. Unless you have a bunch of enchantments that'll keep him on, Heliod usually gets shut off by board wipes. But there's also planar cleansing is what I was going to say after that. Right. So overall, it's a fun deck. Does it win all the time? No. I mean, like, Mono Blue destroyed me. But when it does, it's frustrating. So opponents concede before they let me finish my games, which makes for short videos, I guess. It's a win-win. It's a win-win, gives me more time to edit them and eventually upload them. So yeah, that was a great fun Starfield Mystic. Didn't really highlight Starfield Mystic there because no one will let him live. I think I only played him the one time against the Mono Red there. But yesterday, like, people kept killing my Starfield Mystic when the bigger threat was actually the creature with the Staggering Insight on it. And they just, nope, don't like the Starfield Mystic. Take him out. All right. Doesn't make sense to me, but people really hate Starfield Mystic. They like seeing him on the board. I guess people don't like losing to Starfield Mystic because it's such, I don't know. It was a bad card before Theros. No one really played it. Hopefully now it's found its time to shine. That being said, great fun. There might be more synergies to be played with Starfield Mystic. Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure what my next deck is going to be, but it might be something completely unrelated to any of this. So I'll have to take a look at what's going on in the Theros meta and look for something fun. Other than that, if you liked, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Subscribe, see some more, and I'll catch you guys next video.